to my 5th annual vision board video. Here's everything that came true for me in 2023. I'm gonna take this out of the frame, hold on. Oh, I forgot how big this was. So the biggest thing that happened for me in 2023 on this board was that I moved out. We're here right now, which was represented by all of these photos at the top. One day, Luca and I just were like, nah, screw it. We're just gonna look for a place. And the first place that we looked for was it. They accepted us so fast. It's proof to me that the board works. And so subsequently, the other thing that happened was I got my first ever Christmas tree this year. Well, last year, I guess. Because I got to move out, I finally got my first ever Christmas tree. There's a whole video on it. It was very exciting for me. And the other big one was I finally got to quit my retail job last year. I haven't really talked about that on the channel, but I was working at a bottle load for 3 years and I've been wanting to quit forever. And this other job just kind of fell into my lap. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna also put that on the board because that was a wild thing to have happened to me. I have zero experience and I feel like I manifested it. So here is what we are manifesting for 2024. And if you haven't already, you guys should also make a vision board. Basically, the whole point is for you to put up some photos, some inspo, your hopes and goals and dreams. It can be for the year, but it can also be for beyond. It's whatever you want. And you put it on a board and you put that in a place that you're going to see every single day. And so the idea is because it's in front of your eyes all the time, even subconsciously, you're going to be like working towards your goal at all times. Like I'm not gonna pretend like this is magic. You have to still work for it. But the idea of putting your hopes and dreams and goals in front of your eyes every single day, so you have to see it and think about it and confront it every day, it actually really works. So if you're gonna join me with this, all you have to do is list out your goals, you know, think about it. It doesn't even have to be goals, it can just be things that are happening. Like I've got trips that I have planned on this board, just because it's things that I'm gonna do this year and I'm excited for it. And once you have these images, you're gonna print them out. I go to Kmart, I'm from Australia. It's literally 10 cents a photo. You're going to need a board of some sort. I'm using this cardboard, what are these called? Poster boards? But honestly, you can use anything. I've seen it done with a shopping bag. Like, get creative, do whatever you want. You're going to need scissors to cut out your photos and some sort of glue or tape or whatever. I'm just gonna use a glue stick. The board can be whatever size you want. And honestly, this would be a really good size, but I need it to fit my frame specifically. It's too short by this much. It's so annoying. Okay, here's our board. Here are my photos. First thing I like to do is to sort them. The categories I have this year is YouTube, skating, uni, travel, and just life or like other in general. And so I'm gonna sort these photos out based on my mind. So for example, we've got these veggies that goes into life, skating obviously goes into skating, playing goes into travel, etc, etc. So here are all of our categories. Let's start with YouTube because I feel like that's the most interesting one and the one that I'm the most excited for this year. I like to have one quote right in the middle that kind of just represents what the whole year is. And this year, the word is growth. So we're gonna put this right in the middle and that's what we're gonna build around. For YouTube this year, as you guys know, I reached 1,000 subscribers right before the end of the year, which is so exciting. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. And by the way, if you haven't already, consider subscribing because my goal this year is to reach 10,000 subscribers and it would be amazing if I could actually achieve my vision board. You would help make my dream come true and it would be great. And so here is a YouTube analytics photo that I photoshopped. It does not look like this. I added a 0 in there, right in the middle. Very sneaky of me. And then I also changed the view number and the watch time number. And I also have this that I also photoshopped. It's the AdSense eligibility bar that once you reach, you get to unlock AdSense. And currently I'm like a quarter of the way there on the watch hours. So it would be amazing if I could unlock that by the end of the year. Next thing we have is obviously the silver play button. I have also photoshopped my name on here. I am manifesting this into my life. I mean, it probably won't happen this year, but like, never say never, you know? I have this photo from Life of Riza. It's from her Instagram post, but it's 3 stills put together of one of her vlogs. And I recently found her on YouTube and she grew from 10,000 subscribers to 100,000 subscribers in 3 weeks, which is crazy. And her videos are amazing. They're so pretty. They're so cinematic and so well done. And she's been such an inspiration for my channel recently. And so I'm putting her on the board because I need that kind of growth in my life. And then I also have this photo from her, but it's more of a quote and it says, pick your own entrance. It's from her first vlog that she made, which blew up and was what propelled her into YouTube success in the first place. And I just think it's a pretty cool quote and knowing where it comes from, you know, like this is the video that started it all. Why wouldn't I slap that on my board? The other The next thing I have, I mean, I've never been so, what's the word? Just like straight up out there, but this is literally just a bunch of $100 bills. I'm not gonna lie, the Australian dollar bills are kind of off-putting in terms of vision board wise because it's just so bright and so it seems really tacky, but I don't care. This is to represent my AdSense being unlocked. I've been making YouTube videos since 2017. Final Cut Pro was like $500. I would like to make, you know, just a tiny little bit of the returns from this channel. The last thing I have in the YouTube/social media category is my Instagram. I've never really thought about my Instagram, to be honest, because it's just kind of a personal page for me and I just post for fun. But since, you know, if I'm growing as a YouTuber, it'd be kind of cool if I also got to grow on other platforms. We're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna chuck them on the board, and if it happens, it happens. I added an extra 1,000 followers to my Instagram following and an extra 50 posts to the post because that's how many times I'm going to post on Instagram this year. The next pile we have is travel. First of which is Hong Kong. Going back to Hong Kong in a few weeks for Chinese New Year. I'm gonna get to see my family again, and this will be my first time back since, you know, me going back last year because my grandpa died at around this time last year. That was actually my first Chinese New Year back in Hong Kong since I moved to Australia like 14 years ago. But, you know, because of all of that going on with, you know, funerals, and we didn't really get to celebrate Chinese New Year. So this is technically my first time going back to Hong Kong and getting to actually celebrate Chinese New Year, which is really exciting. So for that, I have these photos of Hong Kong. The next trip I'm gonna be taking this year is crazy. I'm going to Thailand with Dustin Bong and Dobo Chobo, aka Dabra, who are two of my favorite YouTubers ever. And I can't even explain to you how excited I am about that trip. I have, firstly, a photo of just them two because that's great. And then I have some photos of Thailand that I've looked up. Imagine me making a vlog going to Thailand with Dustin and Deborah. It's going to be the most epic vlog ever. You guys should definitely subscribe. I'm so excited. And I also have 2 photos of Melbourne because hopefully I'm going to go compete in Melbourne twice this year for figure skating. Once for Crystal Challenge, which I went last year. You can see that vlog, it's up here. It was so much fun, so I want to do that again this year. And second comp, hopefully guys, hopefully I'm making to nationals this year. It's gonna be my first ever nationals and it's gonna be held in Melbourne this year. We'll talk more about that in the skating thing, but here's 2 photos of Melbourne just to get me more excited about all the trips that I'm going to take this year. Let's do skating as our next category. When you make internationals, at least at my rink, you get 2 free jackets. One being from your club and one for your state. And I have never received either of those jackets because last year, even though I did well, I competed in adult women bronze. In that level, you can't get internationals. The first level that you can get internationals is silver. So this year I am competing in adult women's silver, which is a lot harder. So I'm really hoping that I do well in it. But I have this photo that I photoshopped clubs and states onto it, representing the 2 jackets that I'm hoping to get if I do well and make internationals. I swear I had an axle photo, but I don't know where it is. One of my goals this year is to land my axle. I actually have to work for it though. My other goals in skating is to get both of my level 2 spins consistent, one of which is holding my bullet for 8. And so I've got a photo of a bullet spin, and my other is a combination spin with a broken leg and an eye spin. I swear I'm definitely missing photos because I had eye spin and axle. Maybe we'll add it on later. And I don't know if I'll include this photo, but this is the Melbourne rink on a public session because it's all lit up and pretty. And it just represents me making it to nationals so I can skate in Melbourne in this pretty rink. Next category that we're going for is uni. This is a quick one because I am hoping to graduate this year. This is my last year in uni. So I have this photo that I photoshopped again with the degree that I'm going to have. I've got 2 photos of just uni libraries in general, just as motivation. Spend more time in a uni library, probably beneficial. I can probably get some editing done too. That's probably beneficial for YouTube as well. The last uni photo is the silhouette of someone throwing up their grad cap, because my high school, we never had the graduation gowns or the caps or anything, so I've never experienced this. But at the end of this year, I'm going to be in a graduation gown. The last category that I have before I move on to the quotes is the life/other stuff. It's kind of just miscellaneous life things that I want to do, and it doesn't fit into any of these. First thing on this list is this pull-up bar. This is actually my own photo. I took this photo, and the pull-up bar is right there in the doorway. My friend Luca set it up, it's hers, and every time we go past, we try to just for funsies, you know, we try to do a pull-up. At the moment, the only way that I can do one is by like jumping. I can't just do one from standstill. And so by the end of the year, hopefully I'm gonna do one every time I walk past the door. And by the end of the year, I can do 1 pull-up. All right, I'm setting the bar really low for myself. Not literally, this bar is very high. It's above my head. I feel like if I can do 1, I can do more than 1, surely. It's such a random goal, but It's right there. It's like mocking me every time I walk past. My other goal this year is just to hang out with my friends more, which is a very arbitrary goal, but I recently hosted a housewarming party with my roommate Luca. That video is also up on my channel if you guys want to check it out. This is just a screenshot from that video of all of my friends with my caption in the video saying group pic with our little group of friends. And I want to hang out with my friends more. So I'm gonna put literally a photo of my friends so I can't forget them. I swear we all just forget each other and we forget to hang out sometimes. So Luca and I live in the upper part of our house, and there's a couple of girls that live downstairs to us. When we walk past, we'll wave and say hi, but I don't know anything about them. We've never hung out, and we've said from the start that we wanted to host like a little dinner party or something together, but we just never got around to it. So this photo is gonna represent that dinner party that we're gonna finally have, and we're gonna be friends with the people that live beneath us. I'm not gonna lie, it's been so many months now that it's like scary. Go up to them and be like, hey, do you wanna hang out? I feel like this was fine at the very start, but we were too busy moving in, and now it feels like it's too late. No, we're gonna do it. At some point this year, we're gonna finally make friends with them. My other thing, this is a lot of images for it. I'm looking at it now. I should have probably shrunk this down. I kind of just want to remember that fruits and vegetables exist. I'm good with eating my fruits and veggies if I have them. But sometimes I just forget to get them, and I forget that they exist for a while. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably have a piece of fruit. So I'm putting these photos of fruits and veggies onto my board. The overall goal is to have at least one piece of fruit and veggie a day. Again, very arbitrary goal. It's just here so I remember it. So if I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't had fruit today. And then I'll remember to have fruit that day. I think last year I sized all my images down before I printed it out, and I forgot to do that this year. So I might reprint it and do that. Speaking of food and stuff, now that I've moved out as well, I want to learn how to cook because I am sick of microwaving frozen pies and 2 eggs with my rice. So my goal is by the end of the year, I'm going to have learned how to make 20 recipes, and maybe I'll even film some of them. So I'll bring you guys along with the journey with me. Again, please subscribe. But so I have these 3 photos of like cooking in the kitchen. I'm not gonna be able to fit everything on this board. I'm gonna have to size these down. This is, I swear, on here every year, but it's just a clock to remind me to wake up, you know, at a decent hour. This is set at 8:23, and that is an acceptable time to wake up, and I would like to manifest that into 2024. Skating's actually really good with that because no matter how badly I fuck up my sleep schedule, a couple of mornings a week I will have to wake up early to go skating, and so it resets my schedule every time. Somehow I managed to still fuck it up by the end of the week, but at least I always have to reset it because of skating, and I have to wake up by like 7 at the latest. So we're slapping this clock on here. Don't know where, but somehow we're gonna slap this clock on here. I just want to read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is a very random thing, but I watched the movie when it came out. It was great. I absolutely loved it. I've been in the Hunger Games fandom for a really long time, and I like loved all of that fandom stuff back when it came out and I was in middle school. But for some reason, I just have not read this book because I can't read books anymore. Even though I used to breathe them in like water? You don't breathe in water. I used to breathe books in like air. That's so lame. Whatever. I used to read like an insane amount, and now I cannot sit down with a book to save my life, even if I'm really interested in it. But I do really want to read this book, so we're slapping this on here so I can't forget. I will have read this book by the end of the year. And the last thing in my category is just this green armchair. I've wanted a green couch for a really long time. My sister's telling me the dinner place we're going to tonight. I'm so excited. If I can't have a green couch, or even on top of the green couch, I would also love to have my own green armchair, or just some kind of armchair. This also just represents like getting this apartment even more decked out than it is. Why else am I spending all this money moving out if I'm not even gonna love the place I live at? So the last thing we have is just quotes. Usually I have a bunch of quotes just to fill in the gaps, and they are, you know, somewhat cringe because they're quotes from Pinterest. They're gonna be cringe, but that's the beauty of a vision board. It's your board, and no one can call you cringe for it. At least not if you don't post it online. But you know what? I watched Amber Alexander's video recently. She said,
I don't need to kill the part of myself that is cringe. I need to kill the part of myself that cringes.
That should honestly be a quote. Those are words to live by. And that is all of our photos this year for our vision board, which I can see now is way too many, and I again, should have definitely sized all these down. Do I have time to go? Maybe I'll go to Kmart real quick and reprint these photos. It has been 4 hours. I had to go to off ice and then I went out for dinner, but I did reprint the photos. They're a lot smaller now because I completely forgot to scale them down. Wait, I'm gonna get changed. I'll be back. It totally isn't 11 p.m. right now. Here are all of our new photos. If you look at this, it's all a lot smaller, I've scaled them all down, you know what I mean? As opposed to like the difference. So now we can actually fit everything on the board. This is what I did last year and this is what I meant to do, but for some reason when I was printing them out, I just forgot. We'll still use some of the photos from the big ones, but this helps a lot. All right, let's cut everything out and stick it on the board. We're finally done. I want to ignore the fact that it is literally almost 1:30. This totally did not take me like 2.5 hours. No, never. But here is my 2024 vision board all done. I'm gonna put this in the frame now and I'm gonna hang it up tomorrow, but you'll see that in the clip now, I guess. Editing, woo! That's my vision board for 2024. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tag me if you guys make your own vision board as well. I would love to see it. And I need to go to bed. I have skating in the morning. I'm going to die. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Subscribe.
From afar they turn to shooting stars. Hold me tight, 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 tight. All the darkest secrets I